I assure you, anyone that's ridiculing the firing of McCabe, Comey, anybody that has been dealing with crooked Hillary Clinton in the FBI or the DOJ or anywhere, even the local police, I have over 13 times that the local police tried to murder me. Can't get a lawyer to help you. Nobody wants to go against the black government. Nobody. They fear man instead of God, the Creator. And we are in a judgment time, guys, a spiritual judgment time. You're either nailing in the nails of the cross or you're hanging on it. And let me tell you something. Donald Trump, in my personal opinion, is going through the motions of being hung on the cross, just like me. Alex Jones, you name it, Sean Hannity that's getting sued, or I can go through thousands of people that are patriots. We're getting our freedom of speech stolen, our civil liberties violated. We're being gang stalked, covertly harassed, targeted. Last night, I had another attempted murder, period. Another attempted murder. I'm not going to get into the details, but somebody banging on the door at 12:30 and again at 3 o'clock in the morning. All right. I'm not even going to get into the details because I'm going to do an entire video that shows proof of gang stalking. I remember the story of, was it Bill Cooper, right? How the police lured him out of his house and shot him cold dead. The police. Now, why are the police turning against the citizens, the patriots, the conservatives? Well, that's what Hitler did. And if you haven't noticed that the local police have been selected, they're not elected. And they're serving the corpses, the corporations, not the humans, the corporations. And when the corporation says, hey, I want this guy dead, they do what they're told. They hunt them down like a bunch of witches. It's a witch hunt is what it is. And let me tell you something. We're not the witches. They are. We're not the terrorists. They are. McCabe and Comey have been calling patriots, conservatives, terrorists. Can you believe that? Jesus Christ was a conservative patriot. You understand that? Did you watch the Super Bowl? The patriot died at 33. And let me ask you a question. How old was Jesus in the Bible when he died? It's allegorical for the 33 bones in the spinal cord, but he was 33. And then when you add 33 to 41, you get 74, which is Jesus in gematria cross. It also means weapon, by the way. Because when they take your weapon away, they take your Jesus. Understand, Jesus had to negotiate with Pontius Pilate. And they caught him from betrayal, just like what the police are doing us and the FBI and the DOJ and the NSA. From betrayal. They caught him. So right now, you have agents. Listen, let's get to the nitty gritty of it. Literally, every police agent, even some of our military, parts of our military, especially the Navy, they're spraying aerosol injection, stratospheric aerosol injection on us. Solar radiation management, which is nothing but poison. Right now, this morning, all right? Yesterday, biological warfare. This morning, more biological warfare. They're spraying poison here in Louisiana. It looks like fog, falls from the sky. It comes from airplanes at night, and they move these chemicals around with the electromagnetic cell towers that people don't even know that is a Trojan horse weapon that can kill you with electromagnetic pulse, just like a nuclear bomb does. A cell tower can create, when you combine them together, can create an EM pulse that will drop you dead in your tracks. Matter of fact, you'll probably catch on fire. That's why they call it the lake of fire, the towers of Babel. Let me ask you a question. Isn't the mainstream media news a bunch of babble? Now, there were a bunch of authoritative senators that get on local news and say, Donald Trump is not acting like a patriot. They're actually using the word patriot. Can you believe that? The ravenous wolves in sheep's clothing. They've been in office all these years, haven't done a damn thing except destroy this country and destroy patriotism. And they got the nerve to stand up there and say, Donald Trump's not a patriot, for firing McCabe, for protecting Hillary Clinton and taking money under the table. And then saying that patriots are terrorists, targeting those terrorists for death, from the DOJ to the NSA to the FBI to the local police to the state police to the city police. All of them are getting paid Hillary Clinton's money, George Soros's money, just like Hitler did, to take out conservatives so that Hillary or Oprah, whatever, can win the election to become the goddess of war. And believe you me, they want a female to be the goddess of war. Okay, because that represents the moon, the earth, and Venus, the female. That's the representation of the Antichrist God, a female, I assure you. That's why Obama declared a war on ISIS. ISIS is the true female energy of this earth, the moon, and Venus. And that means that you have a right brain. You sit at the right hand of the Father. You are a conservative right, not a liberal left. Remember, right is describing the right hand of God. Please pay attention. Donald Trump is representing the right. Now, whether he is a Trojan horse and he is pretending and giving us a big show, that could be. It could be. But let me tell you something. If Donald Trump doesn't save us, we're doomed. That's it. Donald Trump could go down in history of being the greatest president that ever lived in any society on earth. He could be the next Jesus Christ, the savior of the patriots, I assure you. And the military that's behind him and supporting him, every single captain, sergeant, all of you, major, whatever your title is, they should be statues in the United States, just like the ones they're taking down in New Orleans, to represent the fighting for the patriot that the left calls racism, by the way. Yeah, right. It's not racism. It's just those men fought for patriots, for Christ, for God's law instead of man's law. So they're defaming. And even our CIA-controlled New Orleans mayor is a disgrace for taking down those statues. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to billions of people who died for God's law. Billions, trillions, including Jesus Christ. It's a spit in the Christ face. It's a spit in God's face, period. It's disgusting that they do things like that. And they say, oh, these were slave owners. Let me tell you something. Irish were the first slaves. The second slaves were American Indians. The third slaves were blacks. And it had nothing to do with them owning slaves. They were told to have slaves by the elite as a way of providing food for the farm, because these people were running out of food because the bankers were trying to siege their farms. Why don't you blame the bankers? It's just like shooting up schools. Why don't you blame the violent movies, the violent video games, the psychotropic drugs, the war on men? You've got so many people fatherless. Let me tell you something. You know how I know how to survive? A lot of it has to do with my daddy. Do you know why I would never go shoot up a school? My daddy. I had a daddy that I feared when I was a kid. And he taught me how to respect and be a man. And let me tell you something. The children growing up without daddies, most of them are wimpy men. They're not even men. They just have penises, and they're going to breed, but they're wimps. The other day, I was watching the Apollo Theater, and there was this black man. I guess he was a black man. I don't know what he was. But the first thing I thought was, that guy is a demon. He had a weird mouth. He was deformed. When he would talk, his lips wouldn't even touch together. There was something wrong with this guy. He was a demon. He looked like a demon. Guess what he did for his act? Guess what his act was? He bent over backwards and was walking like a demon backwards. You don't think our children are being eugenicsed? That young man represents the modification of the human genome to the point to where we don't even recognize humanity anymore. He acted like a little girl, by the way. He acted like a woman. But he was, 6 foot tall or whatever. He bends over backwards. His limbs are all funky. And he was walking with his... just like a demon walks on a horror film. You ever seen the movie Legion? Where the lady climbs on the roof and she starts walking backwards and shit? Okay, backwards walking is associated with Satan. Everything that he does is backwards. Unbelievable, guys. And I don't hate that young man. I almost cry when I see what the elite, the Rockefellers and all these people, Medici family, that have been eugenicsing our children. I cry when I see things like that. It makes me really sad because I love mankind. All of mankind. White, black, purple, brown, pink, I don't care. I love people. I love humans. I love humans. And when I see young black men being eugenicsed, and everybody just think it's funny. Oh, that's just funny. He can mutate his body and start walking upside down and backwards with his head. Oh my God, it was disgusting. Matter of fact, even what's his name that I think is hilarious, the guy that does Family Feud, Steve Harvey, was running from the guy. I don't blame me. I'd run too. That is scary. That's scary. It's scary. Because us older people know that there's something wrong with that. So guys, as you're listening to people insult the firing of McCabe, understand that these people should be fired also. They should be thrown in prison for their acts against the United States, their lies, their tricks, their deceptions. These mainstream media people are guilty of treason, all of them, except some people on Fox. Okay? But they're guilty, and they should be treated. And the media should be handed over to the humans like us. Let alternative media run these networks. Thank you for listening, guys. Please support me and my channel and my works as people are trying to stop me from doing